Okay, guys, I'm going to just start this video with reading off the screen because they wrote it better than I can. I've actually been to this winery. Um, Me and my wife went on an anniversary trip, and I hadn't heard of the winery. And we saw it, and I go, that looks like a nice place. Let's stop and have a drink. And they actually offer their tastings for free. Um, I, I'm I'm not in love with all Paso Cabernet, but Paso Robles, California is known for making some very fruit-forward wines that are bold and big, and they're jammy. And if that's not your jam, I understand that's not your jam. But if you are in the mood sometimes for a jammy wine, I hope Mr. Eberle's not insulted by me calling this jammy. Let me just read. Let me read off the screen what it says about him. I'll tell you about my experience in the winery. Gary Eberle, a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, started his college career in 1962 at Pennsylvania State University, where he balanced between being a defensive tackle for Penn State Nittany Lions and an undergraduate biology student. After graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Biology, he then attended Louisiana State University for graduate work in cellular genetics. So he's educated. His success earned him a National Science Fellowship to Charity Hospital in New Orleans, Louisiana, where one of his professors introduced him to the decadent world of food and wine. After tasting first and second growth Bordeaux from his professor's cellar, Eberle quickly took a keen interest in Cabernet Sauvignon. It was then he began envisioning the creation of an American wine that would rival Bordeaux's. He soon found himself on his way to California, where he enrolled in the enology doctorate program at the University of California. Eberle Winery was not Gary Eberle's first wine venture. When he arrived in Paso Robles, California, after finishing his coursework for a PhD in oenology, I'm not sure if I'm even saying that word right, and viticulture, at UC Davis, Eberle moved to Paso Robles and began his career by co-founding the Eberle River Winery in 1973. After several successful years as the winemaker, Eberle refocused his attention and desire to produce premium small production wine. Moving only a few miles down the highway, Eberle soon started his own prestigious label, which debuted officially with the release of Eberle's flagship wine, the 1979 Cabernet Sauvignon. Since then, he's earned recognition. And so basically, this is a guy who he didn't think he was going to make wine. That wasn't his dream when he went to college. And he stumbled across Bordeaux. He's a fan of Bordeaux, but he wanted to buy some property. Napa's very expensive. Paso Robles, back when he bought this property, was probably a lot less expensive. I've been there. He's got some beautiful caves. They treat you very well. They have a Valentine's dinner in the caves. I would love to take my wife to that. I need to become a member and get on that list. I tasted the wine there and really liked it, but was not as experienced in wine drinking as I am now. So I'm going to taste this wine, and then I'm going to tell you what I think about it and how much it costs. And I'm going to also remind you that the last two bottles of wine that I opened was a Lynch Bauge 2018. And the last two nights I've been sipping on a Ponte Canet 2010. So I'm now tasting this bottle, which you can pick up from Costco for $23. Okay. I've had plenty of tertiary notes the last week. I've drank, I think the last four bottles of wine that I've consumed were Bordeaux, which is great. And I'm in the mood for something jammy. So I'm going to take a taste of this wine. I'm going to tell you what I think. You can get this in California at a local Costco for $23. I'm not sure as far as distribution goes where you can completely get this wine. So let's dig in and see. First of all, the color it's dark, it's rich, but for a Paso Cab, it shows some restraint. If you hold it up to a piece of paper, it's like a ruby garnet color. You can actually see your fingers through the wine, but it is concentrated. But for a Paso Cab, I would say this wine shows a little bit of restraint. I could see that in him being a fan of Bordeaux, showing a little bit of restraint. So let's see. The fruit forward aromas in this wine are very pleasing. I don't think they're overdone. If you're not a fan of Paso Cabernet or even California Cabernet, then this wine's not for you. But if you're in the mood for something fruit forward, this has got like a baked pie, black cherry, plum. I really like it. For a 2022, also, the alcohol, even though I haven't looked, 14.5. Paso Cab, that's very standard. It's not off-putting, especially for a 2022. There's like a peppercorn. There's a it really represents place too. There's a peppercorn vibe in here and some other stuff that really points to Paso. I think in a blind tasting, this really says Paso, but I really like the way that it says Paso. It's not overdone. I think it's a little bit restrained. It's a bold wine. It's a big wine. The tannins, the acidity, the flavors. This is a fruit forward wine. So if you don't like that, not for you. But if you do, I really like this. You can tell that it's 2022. The tannins are there, but they're not out of balance. They're not offensive. The acidity is mouth-watering. There's a sweet sage, kind of creamy, like a baked pie. There's a little bit of smoke, but not too much. You know, you can smell the cedar box. You can smell the oak. And there is a white pepper or peppercorn bite to this. It reminds me of Austin Hope, which is $50 a bottle. Hot take. No disrespect to Austin Hope. I'm not going to say it. I'll say this. If you like Austin Hope and you've been dropping $50 a bottle for Austin Hope and you see this at Costco, don't pass it by. Throw a bottle or two in your cart. If you're an Austin Hope guy or gal or person, throw a bottle of this in your cart. Peppercorn, sweet sage, plums, not overdone, not overly jammy, not opaque. There is some transparency to this wine. You can actually see through this wine. Well done. That's what I think. I think the next time I'm at Costco, I think I'm going to buy a couple bottles of this. I went by this wine with my shopping cart 5 times before I put it in. And I'd been to Eberle Winery and I just kind of passed it up like whatever. And that was a mistake. So also I'm going to put out 2 videos. I'm going to try to put out a video on Dry Creek Valley, Zinfandel, and I'm going to try to put a video out on Behringer Nights Valley for more affordable wines. I don't have a microphone. I don't have good lighting. I don't have anything. I've got a microphone in the mail. I'm planning on making some upgrades and making a legitimate wine channel. This is just me on my phone for now. But some of my videos will just be me talking about wine philosophically and mostly just reviewing single bottles. I may not be traveling to wineries and telling you, comparing a whole bunch of wines or anything. But if you just want to be able to look up a wine, find out about the wine, someday I'd like to have a huge library of videos where you can just click on the wines and what's Chris think about this wine. I saw it at the grocery store. I'm thinking about buying it and just have a nice library of my review of wines and keep it simple. Anyway, thanks for being with me. I think I have maybe 4 subscribers now. So if you subscribe now, you're in on the ground floor. You're OG. That was a little cringy, but yeah. So I'm just getting started. Thanks for watching. Pick this wine up if you see it, if you're in the mood for something fruit forward. Good luck on your journeys.